Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi and welcome to The Tradie Show. I'm Andy and this is my wife Angela, and today we're going to talk about how to become a great leader for your trade business.
So if you have a situation now that you actually have a team or you would like a team, which is pretty much most tradies we know, then you have come to the right place, because this subject is a fantastic one with respect to not just being a good leader, but a great leader. So how exactly do you go about doing that? So, interesting fact, guys, 85% of your financial success is due to your personality and ability to communicate, negotiate, and lead.
I love this quote. And it's so true. And have a look at some of the most successful businesses and successful people that you know, and they have this trait, and it really propels them. It's certainly a great, if you've got that personality, you know how to communicate, negotiate, and lead, people want to follow. They look up to you.
Yeah. I don't know if you've also read the book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. So he has this whole book. If you haven't read it, we do recommend you do.
100%. It's one of the best books I've read early on in business. It's sort of helped us to set up our business the way we did.
Yeah. So the whole book is divided into kind of three sections in a sense. And he talks about the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. And it's about how you actually need to consider how you operate business. Because as we all know, when we first start our trade business, you guys are on your own. I know Andy started alone and, grew the business on his own, was doing absolutely everything, wearing every single hat within the business. And even when he took on more staff and hired more people and had to manage all of them, he had to actually take himself from this position of being a technician, which you guys have down pat really, really well. But you need to actually move your headspace with regards to learning how to manage and then how to be entrepreneur. So those leadership skills need to transcend across all three of those sections. I mean, you don't necessarily need you do actually need leadership skills even at that technician level, because leadership, to be really clear, isn't just about leading your team. It isn't just about, giving direction to the people that work for your business. It's actually also about your customers and about your suppliers. There is a broader sense.
It's really life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you can become a good leader in life, then you've always got those. You've got a great community, you've got a great group of people around you, and people come with you. So whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter if it's sport or if it's business, people want to be involved with you and they want to lead. They want you to help lead them into the future.
Yeah, that's right. So really good point to as we've mentioned, this 85% of your financial success is due to your personality. So it's all about you, your personality, specifically how you lead. So let's just have a conversation if you get this wrong. So if you get this wrong, your workplace is going to be really lifeless. So people will, you might employ someone, you spend so much time and effort and energy actually bringing some new team member in and, spending that time trying to train them. But if you can't lead properly, everything's gonna be dull and grey and
it's a disaster, guys. It's a disaster. And I go into a lot of businesses, a lot of trade businesses, and it's amazing. You can walk through the doors of their office and you can feel the vibe from the very start.
Yes.
And we go in there to do a complete overhaul of their business. And I start with the boss and we start having a chat. We may have a coffee and then we have a chat with the staff, and I can just feel the tension within the office. And once everyone relaxes a bit and the day goes on, you can just see that, this one business, for instance, the boss was just driving the staff. Not only the staff in the office, but driving the tradies out on the road. And when we had meetings, when I had one-on-one meetings with the tradies as well as the office staff, it's amazing that the boss just didn't have that leadership skills, and his biggest problem is he was turning over staff constantly, getting new staff in.
Yeah, it was like a revolving door.
And that was one of the main reasons why we were there, but he just did it all wrong. And he sort of looked at it in a way, a bit old school, and this is the way that my boss used to teach me. Well, you know what? That was 20 or 30 or maybe about 35 years before, and it was harder and it was different. But this day and age, people want to follow someone. They want to feel like this guy's going to take them to that next level. So you'll be really careful. Like we walk into businesses so often, and so many people get this wrong. So make sure you're not one of them.
Yeah, because if you do get this wrong, it is really, really lifeless place to work. It is a revolving door. It's costing you an absolute arm and a leg.
Yep. And
you could tell that the staff, you could almost imagine what their morning's like when they wake up and think, oh my God, I'm going to that place. Like they really don't really have any love for being there.
They're waking up and they're going to work, and the boss is onto them. They're getting their first job, their second job, whatever happening. It's not a happy place. It's not a good environment. It's a slog. They're waiting for the day to end.
Yeah.
And then, they're just over it. And we've all been at workplaces like that. We've all seen that.
That's right. So as a business owner, unfortunately, when you do get this wrong, you're left sitting there saying, what have I done wrong? Like, why are people leaving?
And that's interesting, because that's what we get, where people go, I just can't keep staff. I just can't keep good staff. And they don't know why. Because to be honest, they just don't get it. You can't, you've got to treat people well, and you've got to treat them with respect, and you've got to paint the picture, but we'll go through a bit of that now.
That's right. So let's talk about what happens when you do this right, when you get leadership, and not just good leadership, but great leadership right within a business. Immediately, your work environment is really energised. It's a beautiful place to be. The staff are really excited to wake up and go to that workplace because they enjoy the people they work with. They actually enjoy the work, even though the work, it was actually the same as that other, company that we were comparing it to that was, really lifeless. The work is exactly the same. So you do go, what makes it completely different that all of a sudden the staff are just saying, I love where I am, I'm never going to leave. It's such a happy workplace. And it's not just the staff, it's even the suppliers and the customers that they work for are even attracted to this business to actually, to stay connected with them and use them as a trade.
Yeah, you walk into these places and there's a high energy, isn't there?
Yeah.
And the guys are happy and they're heckling each other and they're bagging and they're having a heap of fun. I mean, that's what we've always loved. That banter when you're out on the tools and you're picking on everyone and you're having a laugh and a joke, and you may have the music in the background and you're having fun. And if you can find that happy place, then your team is so much more productive, and you're getting so much more out of them just by trying to keep it energized. But there was this one business in particular that I'd go into, and it was a real bright and friendly, happy office. And the team members came, and we had a barbecue, and we had a bacon and egg roll as what we do on a Monday mornings. And just everyone was happy. They were talking about their weekend. They were talking about what they got up to. And you could just see that these guys, when the chips are down, they'd take a bullet for each other, And that's what you really want to build, because, even in our business, we know that at the end of the day, if someone's having a problem, and let's face it, we all have a problem at times, the other guys will leap to their defence and come and help them. And instead of one guy working back to late night, you'll get the team will turn around and let's get this all knocked over and fix it up once and for all. Because if you've got that happy environment, they're happy to help each other. Where on the other side of things, they're almost like each tradie's a one-man show, and they're a one-man team, and they just all they're really worried about is how much money they're going to get paid and what they're going to get. So you've really got to turn that into working. They say there's no I in team, but you've got to get that real team bonding culture. And if you can get that rewards you with extra money and long-term staff, and that's really critical in business.
Absolutely.
But you mentioned also with suppliers.
Yes.
Like, it's not just about staff. One of the things that I've had, I'm not necessarily always on the tools as much now, but one of the big things that we have is they love ringing our office. They love talking with our staff because we're always happy and we're not moaning and groaning.
Yeah, that's right. So another example of that is I know that even the staff that, we've done this with lots of other trade businesses as well is, something so simple that we say to the trade business owner, you've got to change your persona, walk in and be, regardless of what's going on in your day, be really happy and, you've got to close out any negativity that's kind of happening in your life. So
because you get a client and they give you a call, and it may be a big client, a small client, it doesn't matter, and they ring your phone and you go, hello, and you answer whatever your business is. But if you're not happy, they go, oh, so how's your day today? And I hear it quite often with tradies. They go, oh, I'm having a bad day. I'm really busy. This went wrong and that went wrong. And I'm like, dickhead, shut up. Like, I don't really want to listen to that.
No, I don't think
your
anyone
customers
does.
don't want to listen to that either. They want to be happy and they want to ring you and just go, God, it's always a happy place, that business, and they're a joy to work with.
That's right. And it comes from your leadership. Everything comes from you. So you might be sitting there going, oh my God, that just all sounds all too hard. So how do I fix that? The thing is that you need to remember is don't wish it were easier. You just need to wish that you were better. And we can all be better, can't we?
We can all be better. We can all take
improve.
it to another notch. There's no doubt that there's times that I do it really well and there's times that I feel like I drop the ball on it a bit with our teams. But you've got to be aware of it and you just got to make yourself be better and understand if you want staff to stay with you long term, it's not just about money. It's about coming to work and actually feeling loved, but actually having fun.
Absolutely.
And, when you say having fun, people don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, great, I'm going to work today. We know that's not the case. We know we have to go to work. But the thing is, you want to make it fun. You don't want to be... it's that old saying that I used to say to my team and the guys I used to work with. Like, being plumbers, we dig holes and sometimes we dig for a week. But if you moaned and groaned about it every day, then it just seemed to take longer and was harder. But if you put some music on and you got in there and worked hard, you just knocked it over and moved on. So it's about being positive about everything as well.
That's right. So this is where your leadership skills really, really kick in. So who do you really need to become? Like, you might be sitting there saying to yourself, I feel like I lack something with regards to my leadership skills, and I don't really have an environment like that in my workplace, but I know I need that, because when you think about how many hours we all spend at work, like, we would all say for sure, we'll put my hand up for giving me that energized workplace any day of the week versus something that's really lifeless and boring. So how do we take control of that as a business owner to ensure that not only we actually attract the right type of people that, are going to fit within our culture and actually fit within this environment that we're trying to create? So who do you need to become to attract those people in the first place and actually retain them, to actually keep them? Because as we all know, the expense of training is so exorbitant that if you can avoid that at all costs, then that's obviously where we need to go.
And I think the big thing is, look at some of the biggest companies in the world now, and it's all about being energetic and having fun, attracting the best people.
Yes.
But making it a fun environment. A lot of these, and I know with trade business is a little bit different, but a lot of these bigger companies, they have their own bar, they have their own kitchens, they have foosball tables, they have, and I know some tradies may have a gym and the boys go and train before. What is it that helps build your team, and what is it that you do in your business to make sure everyone's happy?
Yes. So let's have a look at that now with the great leadership formula. So as we mentioned, this is not just about being good, this is about being great. And we're going to cover off 3 areas for you. So the first one is creator, the second is contagious, and the third is connection. So this is all about who you need to be, what your environment, your work environment needs to be. So creator, contagious, and connection. So let's go through all 3 of these now. So the first one is...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.